Good morning, everyone. My name's Michelle, and this is Shelby Creations. Sitting here this morning with my cup of coffee, and I was thinking about what to do today. And I've got some postcards, and I love using postcards and journals and different things. And I love the stamps on them. And it keeps, they're the old kind of stamps, but then I come across postcards that don't have any stamps. And I'm figuring, well, I gotta have stamps for them. You want to put postcards in your journals or in your notebooks or whatever, and you gotta have stamps. Well, we've all made stamps before, and they're like these. We cut them out with a decorative edge. Some can have the little scalloped edge. Some have zigzag edges. Some we have torn edges that look like they've actually been torn out of a book, which are kind of neat, but they're too big. And these are, they're simply made. We bring out our cardstock scraps, and we bring out our stickers. You see where I've cut these off to make some here, and you just stick them on. These, I use 2 pieces of cardstock with, I can't pick it up this morning, a flower sticker on a piece of cardstock, and then puffed it up right there with foam tape. Yeah, I had to use dots. I ran out of my regular tape, but that's okay. But it's all popped up and ready to go. But these are too big for what I want, because if you put them on these small cardstock or postcards, you lose the postcard, most of it. They're really too big. So what I want is something this size. Okay, well, one way to do it is to make copies. I made copies of a couple of them, or you could do several copies, and all you do is you cut them out. And if they're too light, you can make a darker copy. So now that gives me twice as many. Or you can either do them in black and white. Those are even kind of neat. And then just cut them out and you've got stamps. Well, I want more stamps than just these few. So what do? Well, we start collecting stamps at that point. And to collect stamps, you can get them from friends, such as these. And there's some that I just cut out. Some are from DigiKits. They're all different kinds. I peeled some of the peel and stick ones off of different envelopes, and they've got the sticky back on them, so I just put them on plastic wrap. So when I need them, they just peel off. But those will work, I guess. And then there's some that, like I said, we've made from this came from a DigiKit. This is just a piece of old wrapping paper, but I can cut out, the design. I can make a stamp out of that. And then I've got some older stamps that I've traded with people. And yeah, the corner's missing, but it works. So I've got a little collection going on here in this bag. And then the more you trade, the more stamps you get. Yep, here's another bag. All different kinds. And yet another bag. So I've got a nice little collection. But then once you start using these, your collection dwindles down and you're left with nothing much anymore. So how do you keep your collection going? Okay, there's another thing we need to figure out. We make copies. Here, all I've done is, on regular cardstock, I've taken the stamps that I like, and I've just stuck them on. You can use the double-sided sticky tape. Removable tape works great. Just a little spot of glue, whatever, and stick them on cardstock. And then every time you want them, you run them through the printer, and you've got another batch of stamps. Here are the ones I've used. This is a round stamp. That works great. More of the wrapping paper that I can turn into stamps. This one, I just flip it over. And you've got, oh, what about others? You've got stamps that you can use for kids. You've got stamps for boys, such as the dinosaurs. You've got stamps that you could use in junk journals if you like flowers and animals and birds. So the possibility of using different stamps can become endless. Or you get an endless supply of them. We'll go that way. So what I did is I make copies. You see I started cutting some out here, and I'll take several of the pages and just cut them into strips and cut them out as I use them, or sit in front of the TV. Only problem is I hardly ever watch TV, and sit here and cut out stamps. Well, then we have to think of what edge do we want on our stamps. And we can use the usual scissors with the wavy edge. You know, we've all at one point had these crafty scissors. Some of us have gotten rid of them. I've kept a few, mainly like this, because you know, they come in handy. Or we can use, let's see, what else have I got here? Where's my ruler? Aha! This was a good one. This is just a regular wooden ruler. But to the back, I glued, I had to use E6000, that metal strip from the aluminum foil package. Amy over on Al John gave me this hint, and I put it on there, and it works great. But the only problem is, it worked, you know, it's fine. Let me grab my little tool here. Show you on the one piece here. It works fine if you're doing, you know, some pieces, but after a while, when you go to tear, they don't want to tear too good, or they'll slip out from underneath the ruler. See how that one's coming out? So I had to figure out a way to hack this, and I think I figured it out. I think, you know, as crafters, if there's a tool that we need, we're going to invent it. What I did here was I took a piece of the metal strip, glued it onto I cut off a piece of a credit card, or an old key card, or whatever, to motel, a plastic card. I glued a strip onto there, and then covered it all with that metal duct tape that they use in the HVAC systems. But what it does is it leaves a ridge, because you're only gluing it onto the one side. So you got this little ridge. And that's the side that I call my top side. So I put a piece of washi tape on there. Then I grab my mouse pad. This is an old grungy mouse pad. I've had it for like forever. And you can tell it's the older ones because it's kind of thick. But if you take your mouse pad and your little cutter, and then what you do is you just bear down a little bit, and you can slowly cut it off, and you've got that raggedy edge. You know, it's not too, you know, noticeable as far as one of the lick and stick stamps has, but it works. And then before you know it, you've got a ripped out tag, ripped out stamp. And those are great. So that's one tool we can use. Another tool I found, which I didn't really find it sort of found me, was the tracing wheels. Now, those of us who sew, we've all had these tracing wheels. They're used for doing the tracing paper, making darts, and marking our patterns. So I pulled out the one I had, and it's got the little shallow tips to it, which, you see, I bring it up so you can see it. And it works, but not really that well. Let me go ahead and get this stamp copy down here. Yeah, it's torn, but I can still use the tear part. You have to bear down kind of hard with these, or else it's not going to punch through the paper. And you can simply tear it off, and there you go. and it gives you sort of a even more distressed edge. And that's okay too. Let me go ahead and finish taking this one out. Now, one thing with this is you need to hold on to both sides of the paper, because you want, when you do this, you'll understand. Now, yes, that part tore off, but that's okay. I can glue that onto the end. And then do this side over here. Get up here where I can try to hold onto it. Go ahead and get this one out of here. But that one you have to hold, you have to bear down kind of firm with those. And put that over in my trash can. There I've got a more distressed edge to it, which is good. And then with the little torn piece, even that would look cute on a card, on a distressed card. So there goes another one. Well, I started cleaning out my craft room because I had to move it out from the back of the house where it was into the den, which is where it is now, because my son and his wife moved in with me, and they're also crafters. So my desk is over here in the corner, hers is to my left, and my son is behind me. And when we're all in here together, it's wonderful. I love it. Most people don't get along with their son-in-laws or daughter-in-laws or whatever, but I've got the perfect daughter-in-law. And then we've got this one here that was left. We have the somewhat jaggedy edge, and we could use this to finish it out. But when I was cleaning out my craft room, I came across my mother's. She used this one when she was making clothes for me way back when. And if you notice, it's got longer little spikes on it. These are great. These are great. So now, I mean, I got to finish this one anyway. One, you don't have to push down as hard, and two, you can feel it when it perforates the paper. And ta-da! And you can sit there, go around all the stamps on the page, and then just sit in front of the television or with a cup of tea or whatever, and cut out all your stamps. And see, we have a rougher edge on that side. Not quite so bad on that one, but it's great. I love it. So we have those. Then let me see what I got over here in my tray of tools. I have these. These are Tim Holtz Tonic Studios little jobber things here. I've got one for scoring, one for perforation, one for cutting. What can I say? I'm a Tim Holtz girl. So pull out the one for perforating, and you see the edge has those little notches. Alright, let's try that. Well, to try that, I need my little cutting mat. Don't really want to cut these out on your mouse pad, because you'll cut your mouse pad. Alright, let's go around this one. And you see when you make your copies, you see how some of these have the paper that was left around them, some don't. But that's okay. It gives you a border, or it gives you some idea of where to cut. So we're going to cut around this one. And this is fairly simple. Just zoom, zoom, zoom. And we'll be done here in just a flash. 1, 2, 3. And last side. I left that one a little longer. And then they snap out like this, which is really kind of nice. Yeah, I goofed on that one. What can I say? I can't draw a straight line, and I certainly can't cut a straight line. And then we've got an edge similar to that, which is not quite what I want. Not on these. So we'll set that one aside. Close this back up before I end up cutting my finger off with it. And we'll hang those back up where they go. Now, there's got to be something else we can try. And there is. But it's a little, we have these scissors here. That's going to be a little bit too big on that one. So we'll just set those aside. But I was on the internet the other day, and I found these. And you're going to think, oh yeah, well they're just some pinking shears, no big deal. Most pinking shears have the big zigzag cut to it. These have a small one. And they said this was like 3mm. Doesn't have a size on the outside. And when you get to a stamp about this size, these are good. I mean, watch this. Watch. Ah! One side done. We'll go ahead and do both of these because they're right next to each other. Only thing is, when you're extending your cut, line up your V's. Because, you know, especially if it's under something. See, I told you I can't cut straight. Cut that part off. Cut my hair. We'll cut that off. And then it's a simple zoop zoop. And we've got these. Ooh, that wasn't good. Let's try straightening that up. Okay, that's better. And that one. Now, get rid of our trash. Put it over there in our little trash bucket. So now we have stamps that have these type of edges. And those are cool. That works. That reminds me of the peel and sticks we have now that we get here in the US. All the edges seem to be, you know, just so. So now we've got these stamps. We've got the other ones that we use the different edges on. And we have the larger ones that we made. And you don't have to stick to just, and see, this was just a scrap piece that I had. And you can tell I can't cut straight. This was one of the flowers from the wrapping paper. So what I'm going to do with this is I want to put this one like this and let it hang over the edge. You know, that would be great. They don't have to meet underneath. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, make your own. You do you, which is great. This one here, I used, I think I used this one on. Just a piece of cardstock, double-sided cardstock. And it gives me the rough edge instead of doing the big ones. And then I've got, you know, my sticker here. And what I do with these is, because they're hard to peel off, I'll stick the backing on there. And look, voila! It comes off easy peasy. And then I can take this and put it on there. There's my other stamp. Then you can come around and distress your edges with your ink, and you've got another stamp. So our stamp collection is growing. But like most crafters, we get started in these things and it's like, I want more. I want more. I want stamps faster than what I can get them from trading with friends. I want oodles and oodles of stamps, and there is a way. There's a way we can. We can have oodles and oodles of stamps. Let's see, where did I put? Aha, I found it. It's on the other side of my desk. I found these, and so I don't have the glare on them. And I picked these up at Hobby Lobby. They're in where the coin collecting and stuff is. This one has 65 different worldwide stamps for $4.99. And it's get a nice little idea of what's in there. Then yes, I've opened them up. Inside, you pull out two things. Ta-da! One is a little glassine bag that has stamps. Look at the wonderful stamps. Look at the wonderful stamps. Which will give us stamps for all over, all different shapes, sizes, colors. Stamps for just about anything. And people and houses, flowers, you've got it. There's a lot in here. 65's not bad. And you can take them and pop them on a piece of cardstock. Now see, I keep mine in page protectors. And then you can always make copies of them. Something else you'll find in there is an order form. So if you want to order different kinds. I think these are mainly commemorative, but they've got like a mystery box of 200 stamps that you can order, and you can get them that way. That's another way to get your stamps. This one here, find a place to put these. My desk is overrun. Antique stamps, 15 antique stamps. It says old obsolete issues including special delivery, postage due. 100-year-old first commemorative is in here somewhere. This was only $3.99 from Hobby Lobby. And when you open it up, it comes out with another little glycine bag. And can't get them out. Wonderful, wonderful stamps. Older stamps. Stamps we can play with. Again, put them on your cardstock. Make copies of them. And you'll always have stamps to play with. Okay, set that one aside. Then what I did, I figured, well, I want to do more. So, we go on these binges. We always have to have more. So this one I got, let's see. This one I got at Hobby Lobby. Also, this was like either $6.99 or $7.99 because they were both the same price. This has 150 U.S. and worldwide with dinosaurs. And when you open the bag, again, little glycine bags that are filled with goodies and stamps. I'm not going to pull all of these out. This is your bag of dinosaur stamps. These are great on kids. Kids things. Some of the older, some of them will even look good on those for men. Because I know one of my friends, he's even at his age, and he's in his 40s, he loves dinosaurs. And here we've got the bag full of tons and tons of more stamps that we can put on our cardstock and make copies of. And those came in, no, not this bag, they came in this bag. So there's more stamps. But our stamp collection is growing even bigger because they had the 300 count bag. Worldwide stamps. Surprise selection. And this one I got at Books A Million for $7.99. And with the coin collecting books and stuff. And you'll find these. And I had to. But they didn't come in glycine bags. So, nothing extra there to play with. What they did come in, they were stuffed into a piece of the corrugated cardboard. Now, to crafters, this stuff is almost like gold because you can never find it without that top layer. Here, I've got all the bumps. Woohoo! I got plans for that. I have plans for that. And what you get in that 300 count bag is bukus and bukus of stamps. Yes, there's 300 in here. No, I didn't count them. But these are, I mean, look at that. But you're thinking, how am I going to get these off of there? But if you notice, by the edge, they're the old peel and stick, or not peel and stick, lick and stick. You remember the ones we used to have to lick before we stuck them on? That's what these are. And then some are, you can't really see the edge too good here. I'm going to try and peel it back some without tearing up it's not going to work. But the regular ones like we have here, you just peel them off and stick them. You can tell the edges because the edges are different. Now you can either stick these on your cardstock the way they are, or you can take them off. You think, well, that's a lot of work. Not really. Because if you're going to take them off, if they're the lick and stick kind, I've got a little thing of water here, and I put these on right before I hit the on button for the video. So you know it wasn't that far, or that long ago. And they float off. The glue dissolves, and they float off. And you simply lay them on a piece of paper towel and let them dry, and there you have your stamps that you can use as is or put on your cardstock. I get this one off. That's got a little bit of glue on it. Just rinse it off in the water. Now I'll let those dry, and I've got individual stamps to play with without the paper. And then the paper you can simply ball up, and it goes in our trash can along with everything else. I've tried not to put anything liquid in my trash can. That way, if the main trash can for the house is full, my son can always take it down to the recycling center, and he can just dump the bag in there. But I usually don't have that much left over but paper. Now we're to the point where we've collected our stamps, we've cut them out, or we've soaked them off and we've dried them, and we've put them on cardstock, and we've made our copies. See, here's copies of that I put the wrapping paper on here. Let me turn these around so you can see them properly. Make sure that I got them in frame. I've got washi tape around so that I know where to keep things. And you can make copies that are a tad lighter, a tad darker. Some of these you've seen today. And you can make several copies. Like here I made 2 or 3 copies because some of these I really like. And then I've got the older ones that I put in here, and these with Scooby-Doo, because those are great in kids, in cards for kids, or their first album, getting them started in journaling. Those are great. And more pages and more pages, and I've got enough that'll keep me here for quite a while, cutting out stamps. But I like doing them when somebody calls, like you're put on hold for a while. That's a good hold job. Well, then we've got all of our stamps, and we go to look for them, and we're looking through bags that we have to pull out and fumble through. And if you like that kind of stuff, go for it. Keep them in bags, put them in the container, whatever. Go for it. But that takes too much time for me. So I went even further. I have a system. Yes, I have a system. This is an ephemera keeper. And I got the pattern for this. See who made it. Genevieve Designs showed this in one of her videos. So I bought her template, and I love it. I love everything the woman does. She's a genius. And inside, I have my stamps. And she shows you how to make these. But I love these. I can look through here. I can pull out a postcard. Let's see, which one have I got over here? Let's say this one here, because it's got some blue on it. I can look here and I can see, alright, there's a blue one, or maybe I want to go with a different color. What color would go good with that? Then I can just pull the stamp out and use it. So there's one page, there's another page, and there's my final page. And I'm going to have to add another section here into this. And they're easy to add because they're held in by elastic. They're done on 11 by 17 cardstock. And I love it. And see, here are some that I made from DigiKits. And I keep those in here too. I keep the larger stamps. I keep all my stamps in here. So, yeah, I need to make a few more pages. Oh, they stick out. A little stick out from the top, but that's okay. I've got several of these that have different types of ephemera in it. And by having that little piece stick out, I know which is which. I can just pull it out. Well, then remember we took and put these on in page protectors. I put some of them in. I put those in upside down. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I know what they are. Move my coffee out the way here. And yeah, this is what I call my notebook. I have some stickers in here that I bought to use for something personal. So I keep them in here. And if you look in here, I've got a collection of stamps. Yep. So I'll come in here in the back, open it up, and simply put these in here to fit with the other ones. I see I don't have anything. Ooh, my wet stamp stuck to the back. That's okay. They'll dry. And then I can put this one in here, and he'll have more room to add to my collection. So here is where I keep all my main stamps. Now some of these, you'll see, are already copies. And there's a reason for that. When I buy the big, and as you can tell, I've bought more than one of these big sets, because they come in different ones. They got the worldwide, they've also got the US stamps, and I've already purchased all those. Some of these are the actual stamps. Some of these are copies of the stamps. And because there's a mix, or the reason why, is I have a friend in the Netherlands, his name is Bert, and he collects stamps. So when I get my big thing of stamps, I will go through and I will pick out and try and separate all the stamps that I've got, you know, at least one of each kind. Let's see, where's it up? And I'll keep, if there's duplicates, like this one here, I'll keep one, and I'll send those to Bert. And I'll keep one of the duplicates. And the ones that aren't duplicates, I'll make copies of, so that I've still got. So Bert benefits, he gets extra stamp, he gets my stamps. I have stamps for my inventory, and everything's happy. And then on these, just waiting for them to dry. You can dab them as they go. You could use, if you want to, your heat gun on it, but they'll fly away. I've tried that. Don't do that. I had stamps going everywhere. It was a stamp-aster. Stamp disaster, stamp, whatever. I know, I try to make up words. It doesn't work on you anyway. So now that I've got tons of stamps that I still have to cut out or punch out or get off the paper so that I can use them. And then I've got to make another page or two for my stamp ephemera keeper. So yeah, I just made more work for myself. But it's okay, because it all goes in my stash. And that's what we do. We either work on stuff or we work on stuff for our stash. And I'm a big one for making things and having things ahead of time. So we will figure out something for the next video. Maybe we'll work on things to put the stamps on. Aha, that could be a good one. Or it could be something totally off the wall. We never know. If you found value here, please click the like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you actually are looking for or need to find, or just want to find a different take on. Because in the crafting world, a lot of us do the same thing, but we do it differently. What's easy for one may be difficult for the other, and the third person may come up with an even neater idea on doing it. And we all share our ideas. That's what makes the crafting world so wonderful. It's the sharing of ideas, the sharing of the love out there. Give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.